proactive rest. What does that mean? I mean, I know what it means. Proactive. Oh, I've decided to rest. But what is the opposite of proactive rest? It's not inactive. Is it the person who's so fried at work that they just literally fall asleep? They don't try to fall asleep. They just fall asleep. I know what the opposite of proactive rest is. It's my kids in their classroom and in church when they're not paying attention and they fall asleep. I got it. All right. Now I know. Okay. Well, this is the latest term, and there is something to learn here for everybody. Okay. But this is the latest trend because it turns out there's no correlation between the number of hours an employee works and their performance. But yet we still have companies trying to figure this out. Companies and leaders traditionally believe that the longer that you work, the more productive you are. Put in those extra hours. Bust it, bust it, bust it. Well, guess what? According to a study by research firm Gartner, the number of hours that one works has nothing to do with productivity. Those are two separate discussions. You could work more hours, be less productive. And yet, 77% of human resource leaders believe that better performing employees work longer hours. So it's like there's this confirmation bias that if you're busting it and working longer, that you're more productive. Well, it's just false. Now, that's important to point out because there is still high levels of burnout in the American workforce and the international workforce, because it's less about the hours that I think American leaders are requiring people to work. I think it's what they're doing during the hours. And let me put it this way. If you are required to work an 8-hour day, okay, but you initially start off at a workload that you feel like I had no problem accomplishing what I needed to do within my 8 hours, but slowly stuff gets added. And let's say that 6 months in or a year in, you now feel like that you don't have enough time to get everything done. And now you're starting to choose. And let's just keep moving forward. Another 6 months, another year. And all of a sudden you look up one day, and I'm going to pick this arbitrarily, but you can only get 50% of the work that is being asked of you done during a day. So what happens? Well, the natural progression is you start to get worried. My boss is asking me to get this, and this done. And I can only get 50% of it done during a normal day. So what do? You get worried about your job, your future, understandably so. So what do you start doing? You start working longer hours. They didn't even ask you to work longer hours, but you have to work longer hours is what you feel. Because the confrontation, even though it doesn't have to be ugly, it feels like confrontation to sit down with your leader and go, hey, boss, you keep piling stuff up on me. And during a normal day, if I bust it, I can only get 50% of this done. And I'm having to pick and choose as to what should be done, what's the priority and what's not. So what happens is you find that 22% of employees on average are burned out. And so what do companies do? They go, oh, we need to come up with better proactive rest policies and give them a chance to nap during the day. And let's have a quiet room and a wellness room. And let's give them an extra Friday off a year and all these things. Here's the new hip thing to do. Take one Friday a month. This is from Samsung, big time technology maker. We're going to give everybody one Friday a month, take it off. But no mention in there on changing the workflow and habits. Here's another one. No meeting calendar block so you can do deep work. Company-wide office closure once a year. Summer Fridays and maybe even a 4-day work week. But here's the deal. Are those cures or are they Band-Aids? What if leaders created an environment that employees didn't need to take extra rest from? Methinks productivity and engagement would spike and burnout would drop. This is a leadership issue, pure and simple.